We're here to talk about trust. It's one of the most difficult things that we have to talk about in business today. And I love having this conversation, and I'm going to tell you right now, though I might be a thought leader, though I might have some experience and exposure, though I might have a lot of research and a lot of work around this, I do not believe I have cracked the code necessarily on trust. But what I do believe I've done, I really do, I believe that I've created an opportunity to have the conversation around trust in a way we've never done it before. Share. I want to really challenge you. I hope that every single person in here, at some point or another, has their conventional wisdom challenged. I hope that every person in here has a thought process that says, I don't know about that. That doesn't feel good. What do I think about that? I hope everybody gets that opportunity. And in order to do that, here's what I need. I need everyone in here to have an open mind. I need you to identify 2 or 3 people that you would say, in my world, we call these EGR people, extra grace required, you know? Like, these are the type of people that you see them coming, and all of a sudden you have to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm walking out of the bathroom, it's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And you walk back. Or an email comes in. Anybody know these people? An email comes in, you haven't even read it yet, and you're already offended, right? You're already in like stage 2 conflict. DEFCON conflict 5 is coming just because this person email showed up in your inbox. These are the type of people that they're your neighbors, that you secretly pray every day that something would happen, job transfer, you know, that they would get a job and go somewhere else. These are the people that you have trust issues with. Do y'all have someone like this? Come on, be honest. But I want you to think about the people that you struggle with, and here's why. It's easy to share what I'm going to share. It's hard to live it. And it's hard to live it with the people that you struggle with. It's hard to put it into your real life. So that's it. Before you leave those doors, I want you to have been able to filter what I'm saying through the real people in your real life and your real relationships. We know that trust has an impact. We know that there's an impact of high trust, and we know that there's an impact of low trust. Let's shout it out real loud. When you have high trust, what's the impact? Come on. Comfortable? Confident? Secure? You get results. You're creative, your creativity goes up, productivity goes up, efficiency goes up. It's just fun, right? Thumbs up or thumbs down around a high trust environment? Thumbs up. If anybody around you put thumbs down, you could just help them out the door right now because they do not belong. All right, if I'm waiting for that person, like, no, I don't like a high trust environment. Like, Low trust environment, what's the impact? It's an if-then. If you have low trust, what's the then? What happens when you have a low trust environment? Stress, fear, insecurities, low productivity, low results, turnover. People quit working and they stay. Status quo, right? Listen, y'all got a bunch of people who quit. They're still taking a paycheck, right? And so we get this. And so thumbs up or thumbs down around a low trust environment. Like, we don't want this. Now, here's the thing. Thousands of people I've talked to, nobody wants a low trust environment. Everybody wants a high trust environment. But raise your hand if you've ever been a part of a team or an organization that has low trust. And if you're not raising your hand, please wake that person up beside you. Because we've all been a part of these type of organizations, these types of teams, these types of relationships, these types of families. We've been around all of this. And so here's what I want to do. I want to present a different way of thinking. And here's the different way of thinking. I believe with all of my being that there's some lies that you have believed that are standing in the way of you having a high trust environment. I don't know who told you these lies. I don't know if they came from your mom, your crazy Aunt Linda, some neighbor Larry who told you some of these things. But the fact remains, each and every one of us have believed some certain lies around trust. And the first lie, and it's a big lie, the first lie is that trust is something that is earned over time. Now, I'm already seeing some hands folding and some eyes rolling. I can see you, can't hide that from me. Remember, we go back a few minutes ago, I asked you to keep your hands open, keep your mind open, but this is a lie, and many of us in this room believe, right? Like, nod your head if this is something you're like, wait a minute, trust is earned. If you go on Google and you search trust quotes, you're going to find more memes with this stupid sentence, this quote, than anything else. There's certain things that say something like, trust is like glass. Once it's been broken, you can never put it back together. Well, how philosophical, but wrong. It's wrong. I don't believe that that's true. And the second lie that we believe is that it takes a lifetime to earn it and a second to lose it. Now here's what I want to do. I want to debunk these two in reverse order. It takes a lifetime to earn it and a second to lose it. Can we do some math? It takes a lifetime to earn something and it can be gone in a second. Does that even make sense to anyone? Like the risk reward, is there anything about that makes any sense? And so some of you, I'll just save you the time instead of cornering me at this side. I think some people will corner me like, Richard, I think that's more like, it's just more of a saying. It's more of an ideology. Okay, so it takes a long time to build trust and a second to lose it. But I mean, honestly, how many of us have been living our lives this way? Where it's not so easy to give that trust. It's not so easy to give that trust. And so the problem about trust being something that takes a long time to earn and it can be gone in a second is we work really, really hard for something that can disappear quickly. Now let's go to trust is earned over time. The problem with trust being earned over time is this. If trust is something that is earned over time, then that means I need to keep score. And every time we keep score, there's two types of people. Winners and losers. It doesn't matter what the rules of your soccer club are. They're still, in that situation, a winner and a loser. And when we get into the game of relationships where we're waiting to earn that trust, the problem is none of us have a mechanism in place for that to be accurate. None of us have a mechanism, a score sheet, a spreadsheet, an algorithm, some sort of scientific methodology, an app, a software. None of us have anything accurate enough to determine whether or not someone has gained and earned enough of our trust, right? And so what this means is that we've got to keep score, and we've got to keep score, and we've got to keep score. And what happens is this. The reason why this trust being earned doesn't make sense is because my memory is from the last thing, and it lasts a bit longer than the whole thing. Are you with me? Any of you ever do this? Right? And someone's like, well, I forgive, but I don't forget, right? Okay, well, congratulations. How's that working out for you? Right? So let's just take, it's a three-legged stool. It's based on 3 points. The first one is integrity. Integrity is who I am. Am I the same person today, tomorrow, yesterday? Do I do what I say and say what I do? The root form of the word integrity is integer, and integer is a whole number. So in integrity, do I have wholeness in what I'm doing and who I am? If I am, that's a person of integrity, and that's a solid leg of that stool, and we can build some trust on it. The second leg is competence. We talk about KSA, knowledge, skills, abilities. Yeah, it's not just knowledge, skills, and abilities. Oftentimes, the reason we don't trust someone isn't just because they don't possess the knowledge, skills, or abilities, but it's maybe because they do possess it and they don't do something with it, or they don't pass it on to others. I'm just talk for another time, but real briefly, I believe we've left the knowledge era, where the more knowledge I have, the more power I have. We've left that a long time ago. We're in the knowledge acquisition and brokerage era, where I need to be able to, a person who's truly competent can go acquire knowledge and broker it to other people in an easy and steadfast way. So that leg that we're standing on, yes, is about competence, but it's about, can I acquire and broker that knowledge to other people? And then the third is compassion. And I'm not talking about going over here in the corner and hugging it out. I mean, if you want to do that, do that. But I'm talking about, do I really care where you're coming from? Do I really care what your experience is on this team? Do I really care what this organization does for those that we serve? Do I really care for the footprint that I leave? Do I really care for the legacy that might take place? Do I really care? Do I have that compassion? And by the way, there's some difficult decisions we have to make while being compassionate. Sometimes we stop making a difficult decision because we're being compassionate to one person, all the while being very uncompassionate to everybody else in that situation. Trust isn't something that you earn. It's something that you give. And if you're not willing to give it, you will never get it. One more time. Trust is not something that you earn. It's something that you give. And if you're not willing to give it, you're never going to get it. I look at my relationship with Michelle or with Jeff or with Linda or with Drade or with whomever, and I look at these relationships and I say, instead of saying, do I trust them, what I'm going to say is, what level of confidence do I have in them based on this trust model? So I might have great level of confidence. I might have low level of confidence, but it's all based on the trust model. The trust model, if you look at the top, at those three legs, is they're intersecting circles. No presentation is complete without a Venn diagram, so here we go. And the Venn diagram looked at these, and where those three intersect, in the middle, where they intersect, is my trust factor. And in this case, the trust factor is not big. And what we want to do is, instead of having three very, very, very divergent circles that we don't see together, we want to have three completely overlapping, intersecting circles where we see that together. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to that list of people that you wrote down, and I want you to ask yourself this question. Would you please stop saying, I don't trust, and then fill in the blank. Stop it. Forever and ever. Even if the house is burning down and there's a monster under your bed, would you stop for the rest of your life saying, I don't trust someone? Instead, take the scalpel I've given you with this model and say, what the real issue is, it's an issue of integrity. Richard, 4 of the last 5 times that we were on a project together, you said that you were going to contribute and you had a deadline and you didn't meet it. It's not that I don't have integrity, it's that you're conflicted and you have low confidence in my ability to do that. So go to that point. You tell me you don't trust me, I don't know what that means. We use words like this, love. Like what does that mean? In my world, that's actually a verb. And I want to see it lived out. And I want to do something with it. And I know, one thing I know about love is that it doesn't keep a record of right and wrongs. And when we have to earn trust, that's what happens. Is we're keeping a record of the rights and wrongs with other people. I'm here to tell you, there's not a single person you know that's alive today that could ever earn your trust enough. So let's think about this model in a different way.